So another way to look at it is we need irrational behavior. We need emotion. We need stuff that sort of defies or doesn't follow a strict logic and reasoning process in order to have access to an additional range, or a range that corresponds to that, a range that belongs to that irrational behavior and nature. And nature knows this. Nature knows this, because if it didn't, every single thing would be moving toward that isolation. And the fact that it didn't, the fact that it has created organisms which can combine reasoning and logic and very, very precise, very concise, identifications of a cause and effect in a process, and then still apply emotion to that, still apply what I'm saying is an irrational behavior. So, for example, doing the same thing and getting a particular outcome from doing something, but continuing to do the same thing because you think you're going to get a different outcome from that. And it was very popular. I don't know if it was Einstein is floating around, but it's very popular. It was a very cool comment which says insanity is, right, thinking that you're going to do the same mistakes or the same bad behavior or whatever and think that you're going to get a different outcome. But guess what? That is entirely true. But that is true, but not entirely. Maybe I'm not going to use the word entirely, but the point is that's true, but that is not the only possibility. Because if there is ever going to be a point, if there's ever going to be a moment, an outcome that is different from the same behavior, you're going to need to keep doing the same behavior. Am I right? Okay, so let's expand on that a little bit more. If the behavior you're doing, the same behavior you're doing is A, B, C, right? And the same result you're getting is D, okay? But you have some kind of belief, theory, whatever, that you want to get an E result out of that. The only way you ever will get an E result, one of the only ways you're ever going to get an E result is if you keep doing A, B, C. Because if at any point in that chain, if at any point in that occurrence you stop doing A, B, C, you then stop the possibility of getting E. Now, in order to continue to do A, B, C, we'll say now that doing A, B, C, you're behaving irrational. You're behaving crazy by doing that or whatever. Okay? Yes, and we're doing the generalization of the terms. Specifically speaking, they certainly are behaviors that are probably not beneficial or whatever, but there are some that are beneficial. All right? So yes, in nature, that range of getting E doesn't exist or ceases or becomes zero if the behavior, the ABC behavior that you're doing stops as well. So I need that behavior, I need whatever you're doing to continue to do. And there's a part of you, there's a part of us that in order to keep doing ABC to possibly get a different result, it has to be a little bit of irrational. It has to be a little bit, you understand? And what might drive that? Emotion, the belief. And the belief that is heavily driven by emotion and the feeling. Because if your belief was just driven by cold, hard facts, you might have stopped. We're saying, because the cold, hard facts are saying, stop this. It's going to take years to possibly, or it may never. And then there's going to be a whole lot of people chirping to you, telling you, it's never going to happen. ABC keeps producing D, dude. And you're crazy for thinking that it's ever going to produce anything else. But if it is ever going to produce something else, you must keep doing it. Before we end at this point on this type of thing, which sort of gone on to a little bit of an avenue of AI, but the point is, but the example will drive home the point. A dog, intelligence in an animal, what I've contemplated on, and I feel pretty confident about this, intelligence in an animal is one of the main parts of intelligence in an animal is stubbornness, okay? If you have an animal, if you have a dog, and it has a bad experience combined with a loud sound, and it gets shell-shocked. Okay? And for the rest of its life, it cannot hear a loud sound without being paralyzed or freezing in fear or whatever. And I understand that we can apply that and you can do, but I'm going to apply this example in terms of intelligence, okay? And to bring home my point that in certain animals and in a lot of animals, or in the behavior of stubbornness is intelligence. Because there it could be another dog, another animal, and it had a bad experience and heard a loud sound, okay? But that did not change it drastically. That did not significantly alter its behavior. All right? Now, how can I drive home this point? If you have an animal, if you have anybody, if you have a human, trapped in a room or in a room and they would like to leave the room and they go up to the door and they try the doorknob and the doorknob is locked, okay? A lack of intelligence is try once, give up. It's locked. And you can really make this reasonable. Let's say the human tries over the course of weeks and months and years and the door is locked. At some point, a rational or a reason or whatnot, or in this particular case, and I'd like to believe that that's what my point is, it would be intelligent to never give up, to always keep trying because you have to get out. But am I right? Wouldn't that seem like the intelligent thing to do? If your goal is to get out and there's no other way but you must keep trying to open the door. And if you want to, you could try to kick it down or whatever, but the point is, right? So to the point where can we understand when we say that intelligence is paralleled or directly related to stubbornness? And can we not also now reveal or apply another term to that stubbornness as well, which is a little bit of irrational? The person would have to be a little bit, there would need to be something that can break whatever stimulus is giving you the negative, whatever stimulus is trying to shut down the goal, the resistance, you need another stimulus to resist that. Nature understood that. That is why there is such a thing as that is one of the major reasons why the biology allowed room for such a broad interpretation of the experience, to the point not only of perception, not only of, two people at two different spots or whatever, which you could understand. Two people at two different spots seeing two different things, or two significantly different versions of an event. Not only that, nature needs an emotion combined to that as well, an ability to enhance a drive, an ability to enhance a dedication, a passion. It shouldn't need to go beyond any more than that to understand how beneficial that is, to be able to have an organism that can both apply a logic and reasoning to something, okay, but also a passion, an emotion to something, to the point where the organism will sacrifice itself for the better or for the good of something larger or something else, to the point where the organism can defy the reasoning and the logic. Beautiful. It's genius. I've always thought that. It's genius. And it's certainly state of the art.